ends with me tripping and falling. You've got that to look forward to. Last summer, my dad took me to Europe for 10 days for a trip between my junior and senior years. He did it with my brother, and he wanted to do it with me. We went to Iceland, Munich, and Northern Austria. This story picks up in Northern Austria. It was the last place we went, a small town called Aachenkirch on the Aachensee, which is a lake there. And when we got there, we met up with a friend of ours who lived around there. And she told us about this apparently beautiful trail that ran along the lake from Aachenkirch to a town at the other end, Pertesau. And from the first moment I heard of it, I immediately wanted to go run on it. It sounded fantastic. So the only day that I had the time to go for the run was Sunday, the last day we were there. So the whole 3 days we're there. I'm looking forward to going for this run. I can't wait to go. And then Sunday rolls around and it's pouring rain. It's just a mess outside. It's raining incredibly hard. But this is going to be my last chance to run here. This is going to be the last time I'm probably ever here that I'll ever see this lake or this trail again. So I go out and run on it. So I stepped outside of our hotel and started running, and I was soaked within minutes. Raincoat did nothing. The raindrops were coming down the size of small pebbles. I could feel every one of them landing on my head hard. And so after about a mile of running, I got to the trailhead. And the trail started off easy. And I felt pretty confident. It's like, this was a fine decision. I can make it to the end of this. No problem. It was a pretty wide dirt path. It was pretty level, nice and rolling through some woods. And I felt pretty good. That feeling lasted about a mile and a half, tops, because the trail started to climb, and climb hard. Before I knew it, I was up above the tree line. I was looking out over the lake like 300 feet below me, just whipped iron gray with the rain. I was dodging around puddles and rock outcroppings, going up hard switchbacks, and if I looked down to my left, there was a drop-off, and I look up to my right, and there's just a mountainside. And at this point, this is when some fears and doubts are creeping in. I'm wondering, what am I doing out here? I'm going to slip, fall, and die. Oh, God, what am I doing? This is terrible. Why did I come out here? This is horrible. And I start freaking out a little bit, and I start getting scared. So as I said, this trail switchbacks is hard in a couple of places. And at one point, it gets so steep that it just cuts off with rocky. It stops being a rocky trail and just becomes a set of stairs. So I get to this set of stairs and I think, oh God, this trail's ridiculous. And I start trying to kind of jog up the stairs, keep the run going. I get about a third of the way up this like 50-foot long set of stairs, and I have to stop, and I'm walking up the set of stairs, and I get close to the top, and I have to start walking up the set of stairs, forcing my knees down to get to the top. And I finally get to the top of these stairs, and I'm standing there sucking wind, trying to get it back together to start running again. And I just kind of look around me, and I see where I am. And yeah, I'm on a mountainside where I might slip and hurt myself, and it's pouring rain out, and I'm cold, and I'm shivering, and it's dark. But I'm a continent and an ocean away from where I live, running in one of the most beautiful places on earth, it suddenly seemed to me. And here I am out in a rainstorm doing it. Isn't this incredible? I'd like to say that's what my thought process immediately was, but it was a little more muddled than that. I got to look around me and felt a little bit better about things and started running again. And that feeling kept growing in the back of my mind. It kept growing, and the fears and doubts ebbed away, and I opened up and I looked around more and more. And I was running under waterfalls, and I was running over ridges and under overhangs and through caves. And the entire time, this feeling of amazement and joy is just building and building me, and I can't believe where I am, and I can't believe what I'm doing. And it feels so good. I can't feel the cold. I can feel the fatigue, but I can feel less of it. And I'm just cruising along this trail, and it feels amazing. And I finally get to one point as the trail's diving back down again some, where I'm crossing a huge washout that comes straight down from the top of the mountain. It's this gravel bed that's been scoured clean by runoff from the peak. And I'm standing in an inch of running water on top of this shifting gravel bed, looking up at this mountain that everything's coming down from. I'm looking up like 1,000 feet, and I'm just overcome by how incredible this place is that I'm running in. And I can't believe that I was scared and doubtful of it when it's this beautiful. And I just stand in the pouring rain and try to fix every memory of that place in my mind so that I'll never forget it. But it was pouring rain and it was cold, and I did have to finish the run, which I was now very much overtime on. So I turned away from the washout and ran to Pertzau. As I mentioned, I was overtime on this run. I originally wanted to turn around after half an hour and run back, but I hit that half an hour mark while I was enjoying the run and loving it, so I just kind of kept going. So I got to Pertzau at the other end of the lake, and my plan had been to maybe find a payphone or something, or find somebody who would let me call back to Auchenkirch and get my dad to come pick me up with a rental car. But I forgot, this is Sunday in Austria. Nothing's open. There's no stores open. There's no lights on anywhere that I can see in this little town, and it's pouring rain, so nobody's out in the streets. There's just nothing going on. It's practically a ghost town. It's me, like this ferry parked out there, and nothing. So then I'm just standing there in Pertzau thinking, oh man, I'm in deep now, because it had taken me a good chunk of time to get to Pertzau, something like 45 minutes, almost an hour. And my dad's got to be wondering where I am. He has no idea where I am. He just knows I went off to run this mountain trail in the middle of a rainstorm. So I'm standing around there, and the fears and the doubts start to creep back in again. It's like, oh God, I've got to go run back over that again with the steep stair section, going down it in the rain, and I'm tired, and my hamstrings are starting to tighten up. And I managed to cut it out. I managed to remember, wait, no, I don't have to be scared of this. I can enjoy it. I can sit back and realize this is crazy, and what I'm doing is crazy, but isn't it amazing? And I get that feeling, and I fix it in my head, and I turn back around, and I look at the trail, and I just go, well, let's run home. So I turn around, and I run the 6 miles back to Auchenkirch, up and down over the mountains, through the washout, enjoying every step of it, and it feels so good. And so I finally come trotting down off the trail on the outskirts of Auchenkirch, running back into town towards our hotel. And I'm running along this perfectly flat, level road, just along the side of it on some soft ground. And I see a mud puddle coming up ahead of me. And I see it for probably a good 30 feet. I know it's there. And I run up to it, I run up to it, I run up to it, I step in it. And yeah, you guessed it. My foot slips right out from under me, and I eat it on the side of the road. And I'm lying on my back in the grass on the side of the road while rainstorm's pouring down on my face, and I can't help but laugh. I'd made it all the way to Pertzau, all the way back on legs that are so tired they're not even registering fatigue anymore. I'm not really aware of my feet except as two cold, squishy blobs on the end of my legs, and I've been shivering almost this entire time, but I stopped noticing it about 4 miles ago, and I slipped on the flat ground. I just couldn't believe it. Yeah, that's not a memory I'd trade for anything.